I'm guessing we're waiting for Mr. Thune.
Yes.
Does Mr. Thune give us notice that we're running late, Madam Clerk, or?
No, haven't heard anything from him. I
Okay.
double checked to make sure he got a notice, and the notice went out in November 10, so.
Okay. Mr. Bates, Ms. Stevens, are you present?
I am present.
Good afternoon, Ms. Stevens.
Good afternoon.
I'm bringing Jonathan Quintner in now. He's the defendant's attorney.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Quintner. Oh, you're muted.
I'm not muted, you are. Good afternoon, Mr. Arnold. It's Stevens. How are you?
Good, good. Good to see you.
You too.
So we are here. Mr. Do you need a second, Mr. Quintner? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here on cause number C21-06794, I may or may not mispronounce the name, Chan Tooth Thune. Is that close enough?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, no one is responding. So, Mr. Quittner, I will start with you if you have anything to add to the court before we move forward.
Not really. This case, and let me just make sure who everyone is, let me see now, Mr. Bates he is or is not prosecuting this? He's prosecuting it.
Ms.
No.
Stevens.
I'm filling in as a prosecutor pro tem.
Okay, so Stevens is prosecuting it. Okay, wow, it's also new. Okay, so Mr. Arnold is the judge. And me, I'm the public defender. Sorry, I got here a little bit late. So, Mr. Sewin, this case, I fully expect to go to trial without, some sort of more reasonable amendment. I do hear from Chantus, but I haven't heard from him in the last couple of weeks. I don't think he's stepped down. I don't think he's willfully ignoring the court. Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah, yes, I am.
I probably should have given him the heads up that we had court today, but I did not. So I don't know where he is today. That's my only contribution.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Quittner.
Thank you.
Ms. Stevens, do you have requests or go ahead?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I know this case is currently set for trial for February 14th, but I am not available that day. So I would ask that hearing be struck and we reset that, but I don't want to reset it for trial right now without Mr. Thune present. I do know that he has a warrant for his arrest out of, it looks like, a Raymond. So that's very concerning that he's not here today and hasn't had much contact with his attorney. Given the nature of the case, I think that the city would ask for a warrant to be issued in this case so that we can get Mr. Thune here and get this going so that we can come up with a trial date. If that's where this is headed.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Stevens. I will give you the last word, Mr. Quittner.
I would just ask, Your Honor, that we note his non-appearance for speedy trial purposes and go no further than that. I don't think that he has left town. I think this is probably just an oversight on his part, but of course, I will, as always, defer to the discretion of the court.
Thank you. Anything regarding the trial date of February 14th?
I have no objection to striking that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Quittner. So the easy decision, Madam Clerk, that trial date will be stricken. Whenever the next court date is, we'll just set it for a pretrial, if that seems appropriate.
Next date will be January 24,
Okay.
if that works for everybody.
I think I'm under strict instructions not to permit anything to be set because I've got a jury trial in Superior Court set that day.
Okay.
And my paralegal is on the call, so she would surely chime in.
We could go out to February 14 would be the next one.
I'm
Okay.
not available that day.
Oh, that's-
I will be out of
Okay.
town.
February 28th would be,
I am available that day if Mr. Quittner is.
And I'm looking. February 28th, that is fine.
okay,
All
And is
right.
that at the same time at 12:30?
yes.
Okay.
The next thing, I want to look at his history. I know that Ms. Stevens mentioned there is a current warrant out of, I believe you said Raymond.
Yes, Your Honor.
And for some reason, my jab, South Bend Municipal, didn't want to pop up. So I have to go to Long Route.
You know, I keep getting kicked out, so I think they're having problems on their end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I also had to take a long way to get to his history.
Okay. So just bear with me 1 second, please.
We do have a pretrial no contact order in place currently.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That was another question I had. Ms. Stevens, could you tell me how long that warrant in Raymond has been active?
Your Honor, I cannot because it will not load that screen for me, and I just got kicked out of JAB, so I'm trying to get back in myself.
Okay. I am in the same position that you're in, where I can't log on to that portion.
Let's see. Bench warrant was ordered May 18, 2020.
Okay.
That's, yeah, and 6/18, Nancy McAllister was removed. That's all that's in JIS.
Okay. Well, here's how I'm looking at this. There's an active warrant with the allegation as one I would consider a serious allegation. Nothing to do with what we're dealing with today, but nonetheless, serious allegation. And business hasn't been taken care of for a fairly significant period of time. So I do find the request of a warrant being issued. I do find that to have merit. So that is what I'm going to do. If you have further conversation, Mr. Quittner, you can definitely to come in and quash that for sure. But I will issue a warrant today due to non-appearance. Madam Clerk, I'll put the amount $2,500 just based on the nature of the charge.
Okay.
Any questions from anyone? Okay, good to see everybody. Stay dry and safe.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, court will be in recess.
Thank you.
So in the waiting room, we have Preston Lawhead. And then we have Attorney Alt and his client, Sean Tonkin. Available,
Okay.
wherever you'd like to start.
Mr. Bates, you have a preference on this?
I'm fine if we go ahead and take the Lawhead matter. Mr. Quittner and I did speak about that case this morning.
Okay. Why don't we do that then?
He's coming in by phone.
Okay. Mr.
Hello?
Lawhead,
Yes,
can you hear me okay?
yes.
Great. This is Will Penoyer, judge for the City of South Bend Municipal Court. And we are on today in your case for an arraignment. You are charged with DUI and an infraction of driving with wheels off roadway. Arraignment just means I'm going to go through your rights with you and then see about if you want to have an attorney appointed, all right?
Okay,
Great. So what you're charged with DUI is a gross misdemeanor. That means the maximum penalty is $5,000 fine and 364 days in jail. Basically, I'm just going to go through the charges here. You have the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to say anything about the offense or this offense or anytime today or in the future. Right to be defended by a lawyer. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you at city expense. You have the right to a speedy trial. That means you, in this case, since you're out of custody, you have the right to a trial within 90 days. You have the right to have your guilt decided by a jury. When you go into a trial with a jury, the jury has to presume that you are innocent. And if you are not, and if the court is unable to, if the prosecutor is unable to show that you are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, the jury will be instructed that they are to find you innocent. You have the right to call witnesses to testify for you at trial at no expense to you. You do not have to testify. You have the right to remain silent, which cannot be held against you. If you're found guilty at trial, you have the right to appeal. However, if you plead guilty, your rights to appeal are limited. At this point, would you like the court to consider appointing you an attorney?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you afford one of your own?
How much do they cost?
Well, realistically, it would be at least $2,500 retainer, probably more than that. What is your monthly income?
I work on a crab boat, so I only work 4 months out of the year.
Okay.
But this month I made $18,832, I believe.
Okay.
But I only work 4 months out of the year.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'll probably make around $60,000 this year. Hopefully a little more. I don't know. It depends on how much crab we catch, really.
okay. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Lawhead, I don't think you're going to qualify for an attorney just because your income is too high under our poverty guidelines.
All right.
So you will need to at least try to retain one of your own. If you find that you're unable, when you come back to court next, let us know, and perhaps we will reconsider appointing you an attorney at that time, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like me to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf at this time?
Yes, please.
Okay, we will do that. Plea of not guilty is entered. Because this is a DUI, we need to set some pretrial release conditions. My inclination here was to set pretty standard ones. It looks like it's a first-time DUI, so the standard ones we usually do: no bars, taverns, or lounges, don't drive under the influence of intoxicating liquors, do not frequent bars, taverns, or lounges, no drugs except those prescribed by a physician. Mr. Bates, anything to add to that?
No, I looked at his history prior to court and I saw this as a first offense.
Okay, thank you. So being the case, I'm going to enter I'm going to order those pretrial release conditions. You will come back to court on January 24th at the same time by phone like you're doing today.
Okay.
And in the interim, I would like you to try and find an attorney.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions for the court?
Where do I find an attorney at?
Well, I can't really advise you too much on that. I can't give you names or anything like that. I would just say look in the phone book or online for DUI attorneys.
Okay.
Where do you live, Mr. Lawhead?
Oakland, Washington. Tokeland.
Okay. I think you'll find that there's a fair number of attorneys who handle DUI cases in the Grace Harbor area.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Anything from either of the attorneys, or are we done here?
Nothing from the city.
Okay. That being the case, then Mr. Lawhead, you'll be back on the 24th and try and get an attorney in the interim. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. That's it for me.
That's it.
Yeah, that wasn't even one of mine.
Oh,
Although I
okay.
have seen the
Okay.
discovery.
Can I hang up or?
Oh yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
Mr. Lawhead. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Bye bye.
All right.
Am I wrong,
in that
Madam
case,
Clerk? Is that it?
That is it.
it looks like it's
For
just
you.
arraignments and
Yep.
you
And
know,
then the
so-
review.
Okay.
See you guys later.
See you later. Thanks. Mr. Bates, I like the glasses on the head. It kind of gives a certain gravitas to you there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm old enough for reading glasses now.
Oh, wow. I haven't gotten there quite yet, but I have contacts in. Mr. Alt? Okay. Mr. Alt, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Mr. Tonkin, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful. We are on for, it looks like, a review on this case.
Correct, Your Honor. For the record, Robert Alt on behalf of Mr. Tonkin, also present via Zoom. We last appeared in front of Your Honor on November 10th. And at that time, the court understandably wanted to see some progress with Mr. Tonkin in treatment. Subsequently filed an updated compliance letter with the court on Friday, indicating that he has been in compliance with treatment since November 9th. So at this point, it's our belief that Mr. Tonkin is in compliance and is going to continue to be in compliance. Thank you.
Well, that's certainly encouraging. I haven't seen the letter, but I have no doubt that you are representing the truth to me. Mr. Bates, you have anything to add on this?
No, Your Honor. I think my advice would be, let's set it on for an internal review, either at the end of this month or early next month, just so we can see the compliance report and
Okay.
then just monitor it that way.
Okay. That's fine. I'll take a look at it, and I'm assuming it's going to show that he's in compliance. Barring that, I guess we don't need to, we don't need to set another review in this.
I don't believe not, Your Honor. I'll defer to counsel.
I don't think, if he's in compliance, then I think we're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, I don't think there's any real triggers there. Mr. Tonkin, I'm glad to hear that you're taking care of this and doing well. Very encouraging. Keep up the good work. And Mr. Alt, thank you for checking in. And I guess that's it.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor. And thank you, counsel.
Have a
Sean,
good
you
day.
can log out. I'll give you a call, Sean.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's all we have.
Wow, that was quite a docket.
Yeah, the rest of them on the docket are not here, so.
Madam Clerk, I did have a question about number 5 on the docket. Did I not hear this defendant's case or cases at some point when I was pro-temming? The name looks familiar.
I can check on that. I hadn't looked for that yet,
Okay.
but I can certainly check on that and let you know.
You know, I recognize the name too. It may have been somebody I prosecuted in Raymond. I don't know that for sure, but the name does resonate, as Mr. Bates says.
This is his second reset. He has never appeared.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, on that case, well, Mr. Bates, you don't want to pronounce anything on this one just in case.
I'm worried for the moment, Your Honor, until we can confirm that.
Okay, fair enough. Why don't we just set this one for the next docket yet again, and we'll check on the conflicts on it.
okay.
All right, just making a note of that.
And then, Your Honor, on the other 2 arraignments, we have Fanning and Lev Ruby. I looked up their histories. They have other similar offenses and I believe active warrants in either municipal courts or the North District Court for Pacific County.
Okay. All right. You know, I know that there's some reluctance from the court system for us setting, putting out warrants during the COVID time for these slightly lesser offenses,
Right.
But on the other hand, it sounds like compliance seems to be a regular issue for both individuals. So I guess on what I will do on, if this makes sense to the prosecutor, I think on Fanning, I'll set a warrant 1500, and on, let's see, Ruby, I will also do a warrant 1500.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor.
What about Famachan?
Apamachan, we're gonna just set for the next docket because we
Set?
need to check on the conflict issue.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else on.
Nope, that's it.
Okay, well, it was a successful first docket, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Hey,
Stay
Mr. Bates,
on.
Mr. Bates, did you get any mail from me?
Not that I've yet seen.
Of course, the mail's been very delayed these days.
I've noticed it's taking forever.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Okay, well, you all have a good afternoon.
You too.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.